What? Are you taking a mickey? How you gonna think Ronaldo's gonna come Manchester and play for City? Don't be silly. Are you for really? Fergie was like, he would never go there. No way over my dead body. Pick up the phone like son, talk to me. Pick up the phone like son, talk to me. Are you taking a mickey? How you gonna think Ronaldo's gonna come Manchester and play for City? Don't be silly. Are you for really? Fergie was like, he would never go there. No way over my dead body. Pick up the phone like son, talk to me. Pick up the phone like son, talk to me. Woo! Yo, this is the OT99 Banter Room where opinions are shared and smoke gets served. Look, we're back again. This is a full house setup. It had to be. Why? Because Ronaldo's home. And we've got the gang here today. We've got Crep, we've got Edwin, we've got NK. And you know what? It's about to get served. The smoke is about to get served. Look, I ain't been on there since the news broke. Look, Cristiano Ronaldo, the breaking news came out that, you know, he's returning back home to OT. And you know what? To be honest, my heart was pounding because I was thinking, raw, like, can he really be going to City? Would he be like, can this ever happen? The legendary Cristiano Ronaldo ended up at City, punishing us. Look, my heart was trembling, but I ain't never seen a transfer window like that. I ain't never seen us do business like that. Quick turnaround time. And I'm so gassed. I woke up thinking, like, I don't even believe it. I had to recheck and then recheck. Look, guys, first of all, before we get into the match, what are your thoughts on Cristiano Ronaldo? Look, Crep, talk to me. What's your thoughts on Cristiano Ronaldo? Are you happy with the move? Or do you see it as a panic buy? I know that sounds weird, but what's your thoughts on the move?
Well, you know what? Obviously, it's always a good one to have Cristiano Ronaldo. He's a legend at the club. Still one of the best players in the world. I don't see it as a panic buy from the club. I just saw it as an opportunity. The club saw an opportunity to bring Ronaldo in. Obviously, like I said, one of the best talents in world football. And it just made sense for them to bring him back if he's available. So, you know, for sentimental reasons, I think he's going to add value in terms of upping the levels and bringing up the other players around him. So, yeah, it made sense. It was a good move, I think.
Can you believe, though, we saw like the value? Shoot, obviously the news come out that Cristiano Ronaldo's landed, and all of a sudden our stock's gone up 8%, and Manchester United's already made like plus 200 million.
Yeah, it was a financial move as well, man. Let's not get it twisted.
Look, NK, what's your thoughts then? Because like, obviously people saying, you know, Ronaldo's come, everyone's excited about Ronaldo, but it didn't seem like he was on the cards before. It looked like Man United got the deal done in the end, because I heard that we were offered Cristiano Ronaldo before, but we kind of held back and rejected it. But now, you know, Manchester United has gone in for him because we thought that he may be going into City for one. What's your thoughts on it? Do you feel like Cristiano Ronaldo was what we needed? Would you have said, you know what, Cristiano Ronaldo or no DM? Would you still have gone for Cristiano Ronaldo?
You know what, you have to, because the kind of DM that we are looking for, I don't think we got the money in place for it just yet. And you know what, if Ronaldo was going to say PSG or anywhere that's not in England, then you say, hey, you know what?
NK's muffling out a little bit.
No.
Muffling. I kind of get what you're saying, NK. You're saying basically we should have done the move. You're happy that we done the move. You would have been happy if Cristiano Ronaldo went to any other club outside of the UK, basically. And quite frankly, because he's gone to City, so I'm paraphrasing NK, because he was going to go to City, you're happy that Manchester United done the deal and blocked that from happening. Is that what we're saying? Okay, he's still fixing up his camera. Look, Edwin, what's your thoughts on that move, man? What's your thoughts on that move? Cristiano Ronaldo, Manchester United, it doesn't look like we're going to make another signing. It looks like it is Cristiano Ronaldo being our last signing, and then maybe Dan James, the breaking news came out today of him going to Leeds for 25 million plus add-ons, which is great, 30 million and all. But it seems like we're not going to get a DM. Are you happy with the fact that we got Cristiano Ronaldo, or would you prefer to focus on DM and not getting?
I think just as a general fan, you will be happy for the amount as well. What did you pay? Like 12 million up front, right? And then the rest. And if you look at statistically, in the last 12 years, he's always got over 30 goals. He was the top goal scorer last season. I think one season in the 12 years, he only got 28. But he got, 29 goals or something last season?
Yeah.
Or 36 and 44 or something like that. So, he's still scoring at this age. So, and he's not the player he left. He's not going to be doing what he used to do, like dropping deep, running. He's just going to stay up front and score. And we need someone like that. And there's also a ripple effect on people like Greenwood, Rashford. Because like they say, Rashford's kind of just stayed consistent. He's not grown since that time he broke out. So someone like him or Greenwood would benefit, and maybe even Martial in terms of the work ethic. So I think all round, in terms of business, is good. We'll make the money back easily. And it's kind of like a win-win. We can't really lose. Like if he comes back, it's like he will score. There's no doubt about it. And he will start. Like I guarantee you, he's going to start against Newcastle.
He got 29 goals in Serie A last season. He got 36 in all competitions in 44 appearances. So he's still banging in goals. But my thing is this. Would you have accepted Cristiano Ronaldo knowing that you're not going to get a DM this season? Because it's looking like that anyway. We are where we are.
But it doesn't look like we're going for a DM anyway. We offered Sol and we didn't even go for him. We didn't really go for anyone else. So it's like, if we didn't get Ronaldo, we probably wouldn't have got a DM anyway. So I think it's just a bonus to have him. And a DM, we need a DM in terms of balance, but it is what it is. As long as we just got to find the right midfield combo, because the last game it didn't work.
So before we get onto the midfield, because I'm going to talk about that in context of the game that we had against Wolves. But Crep, look, Manchester United have signed Cristiano Ronaldo roughly for about 480k a week, which I think was amazing. Even though he's 36, he's still smashing in goals. He still keeps himself well. He still eats right. He still drinks like all of that. We signed him on a 2-year deal. Now, what does that mean for the likes of your Haaland next season, the likes of, Kane, or even a Lewandowski? Do you think that Manchester United's still going to be in a running for an elite striker that gives us more long-term sort of sustainability in that sense? Or do you think that we're out of the running now that we've got Cristiano?
I think it makes it a little bit more difficult. Personally, I would have signed him up on a one-year deal.
Yeah.
I don't think he would have accepted that, but I think a 1-year deal probably would have been right. I mean, he's 36, so he's going to be leaving the club at 38, 39. I think it's a 2-year deal with an option for a further 1 year, apparently. That's what they're reporting. So, yeah, I mean, obviously I think a year would have been ideal, and then next year we go all out for like a Haaland or a Harry Kane. I don't know what that means for next year, because obviously he's got huge wages, and I think although Ronaldo is an elite player, so you can't really compare him only really to Messi. I think because he's on such high wages, I think it sets a precedent. So, for example, we know how Haaland's agent is anyway. He's a little bit, obviously, he's got high demands in terms of wages and agent fees. So if Ronaldo's on 480 and we try and say Haaland, how much is he going to try and ask for? He's going to be asking for at least, close to that 300 plus.
I read somewhere that Riola wanted something like 50 odd million euros for him, which worked out to be about 800 range per week.
He's smoking crack. He's smoking crack. He's on drugs. That man's on drugs.
Riola wanted about 40 million euros.
But also Pogba as well. Obviously, Pogba hasn't signed the deal. Now Ronaldo's coming with them 480 wages. Bruno, they're trying to get Bruno to sign a new deal. Like I said, the only factor is that it's Ronaldo and Messi, and I think everyone in world football knows that them two they deserve every penny they get. They're elite footballers, so no one can really compare to them. But footballers were always going to try and get as much as they can. So I think it's going to be a tricky one. So we'll see what happens next year. I think we will try and still, if Haaland's available, I think the club will be stupid not to try. Or Kane. I just don't think they're just going to let that pass by and not even, try and sign. So, and it could work in our favor, because Haaland could say, you know what, I want to play with Ronaldo. Depends what we do this season. So there's a lot of factors.
That's interesting though. Edwin, do you feel like Haaland and Ronaldo could play together, hypothetically speaking, if we manage to get that deal done next season? Because they both seem to play only in one position nowadays, which is number 9. So how would you, can you see any of them holding bench? It's crazy how you'd fit them in. Or do you go to 4-4-2?
I don't think so, but at the same time, it could change. Like Ronaldo coming could change the whole dynamics of everything. Because with Haaland's like demands and his agent, yeah, Man United might not deal. You know what I mean? And as we've seen, Ferguson's got a big influence still on transfers. So, and you don't get on with that guy. You know what I mean? So, and he's still advising Solskjaer. So I feel it depends what Ronaldo does. If Ronaldo comes and he actually hits the ground running, he has a great season, and he potentially has another one, but then Greenwood starts growing, we might not even need to buy Haaland, Like if Ronaldo has two good seasons and Greenwood is playing well and he's actually able to develop as a striker while Ronaldo is there, it's just like, do you really spend all that money in Haaland or just invest in Greenwood and build more bet like Sancho hopefully improve by then and other wingers in the DM? Because if Greenwood's banging and Ronaldo has good seasons, and he even stays for a third, then Haaland might end up going somewhere else,
It's it's a point you're raising, because Greenwood, the more I watch him, the more he's doing what I want him to do. You know what I mean? Running into channels, shooting on sight, look, I was reading someone say, who was it again? Pogba in an interview said that, Greenwood's the best finisher that he's ever played with. So that's a big compliment for me.
And it's only going to get better for him, because remember there's a point he disappeared last season. They said he had issues off the pitch. He wasn't really taking football serious. Someone with like Ronaldo, they say Ronaldo still turns up before everyone in training leaves after. And even the way he's looked after his body, if he takes Greenwood out of his wing and say, look, you got potentially you're a better finisher than when I was your age, and that's the truth. Ronaldo weren't really a good finisher until a couple years later, until he developed. If he's able to just basically say, improve your game this way, and Greenwood starts doing well, is like, do we really need Haaland? Obviously he's a big name, but it's like, do you stop Greenwood blowing and potentially being as good as Haaland or better?
Well, what do you say to that, Crep, man?
I still think we should go for Haaland. Regardless, that guy is an absolute sensational footballer. I think he's gonna be right up there. In terms of the best of the best, he's a quality player. I still think we should go for him, regardless how Greenwood turns out, because we still need another attacker. I think Martial, I don't think he's going to hit the heights of what we expect of him, if I'm going to be completely honest. And Rashford probably will develop a little bit better, but I see him as a wide player. So it's always good to have competition in those places. Obviously, Cavani will be gone. Ronaldo's old. I mean, he's not a future player, is he? He's here for now, and he'll be gone in a couple of years. So we still need Haaland, I think, regardless of how Greenwood turns out, because I don't think he can carry the team on his own. I feel, a club like United at that level, I think we need more top players.
That's what I feel as well. I feel like he's a quality guy, Greenwood, but right now he's just not ready to carry the team. I feel like this season is going to would have given me good insight if we didn't get Cristiano Ronaldo to see what he's about. But Cristiano Ronaldo is going to end that situation, because
not really. This might actually show how good Greenwood is, isn't it? Because what Crep was saying is like, if he's playing around better players and there's competition, we'll actually see how good he is. You know what I mean? It's different just not having the option in him playing. But yeah, I think, but it's also how quick would it take for Haaland to land on his feet when he comes to the Prem? Because we've seen good players come to the Prem and struggle, strikers, you know what I mean? And these are strikers that are world-class, certified, you know what I mean?
Falcao, I remember that was stress. Do you know what I mean?
Even Forlan was the weirdest one. He couldn't score for Man U, and then he went Spain and he was banging 30 goals per season, bang, 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 bang. So I think Haaland will do well. Don't get me wrong, he's young. And the good thing for him, if he comes to Man United, is the connection he's got with Sancho. So he'll feel comfortable. He'll feel comfortable already. But for 70 million, you can't turn down the opportunity. Whether you have to bench someone, 30 million is 70 million for Haaland at his age is mad.
What I do know anyway, back to Cristiano Ronaldo, is the fact that him going City would have been detrimental to our football club. It would have been detrimental to the fans. It would have caused riots, to be fair. It would have been ESL all over again. For the youth growing up like Greenwood, seeing someone like Cristiano Ronaldo play for the Ops would have broken these guys. Like, these guys would be thinking, if he can do it, I can do it. The culture the example would have been dead. Do you know what I mean? The leaders would have been, hit hard by that type of news. It would have just been hard to take. And I feel like we had to step in and do that deal. Quite frankly, we just can't have Ronaldo's playing for City. It's impossible. Can't happen. So I'm glad we stepped in, man.
Did you hear Rio's little interview about what happened?
Not really. I heard that. All I know that is that he had a long conversation with him.
Yeah, he was saying that as soon as they heard, like I think what NK was saying was right. When they heard he was potentially going somewhere else, like PSG, they didn't really care. It's more like, okay, cool, he's going.
Yeah.
He's not going to be in the Prem. But for him to be in Manchester and not wear the red shirt, they said Rio was on the phone to him all night. They said even Ferguson hollered at him. Like, that's why, have you realized that's the quickest a deal's been ever done? Within 24 hours.
Bro.
Like, when have you ever heard Man United to sign someone within 24 hours?
Never.
As soon as they heard, they were ready just to put that money in. So I think as soon as they heard he was going to Man City, everyone was on it. Rio called him, Ferguson called him, and
that's what I'm on.
So,
look. I'm excited. You got another top quality, world class, the best actually player in the world coming to Manchester United. I know arguably, I put that there, but for me, yes. Look, let's move on to some other top signings. Look, Varane, Sancho. Talk about the game. These guys had their first start, and I've been screaming for their start. I've been wanting them to start. I've always was like, why are we the only team that haven't started our quality players? We've got a world-class defender sitting there, a Rolls Royce of a defender, and we've got one of the best youngsters, wingers, natural wingers out there in a very long time, like one of the best in the world right about now for his age especially. And we ain't starting these guys. We've done it, this weekend. We started both of them. And it was kind of like, Varane did well. I ain't gonna lie, he did well, but it wasn't the impact that I thought it would be, I must say. It wasn't like us clean sailing. It was almost looking at that game thinking, damn, this is similar to last season. We're still struggling, do you know what I mean? We're still getting battered, the offense getting battered, like getting very lucky not to concede goals. And then everyone just went back to the midfield situation again. Everyone went back to the midfield situation. But let me get to that midfield bit a bit later. Let's talk about Varane and Sancho. So, Crep, what was your thoughts on Varane's debut? How did you think he fared against your Adama Traore's, your Raul Jimenez and them man there?
I think he done well, to be fair. You've got to consider it's his first game. He's still building up that partnership with Harry Maguire. It was a difficult game to come into because obviously we was on the back foot for most of the game. Yeah. We was under a lot of pressure, but I felt he was very composed. I felt, to be fair, I think if Lindelof played that game, I think we would have conceded a goal. I think he brings a level of calmness and composure into the team, into that back four. They just feel a little bit more confident knowing that Varane's there. I felt even the hair stepped up a little bit. He looked even more energetic. He makes some quality saves, but you can see his positioning, the way he tackles, his timing, his on the ball as well. His passing, his composure on the ball. I know he had a few misplaced passes, but generally he's very composed on the ball.
Yeah,
good in the air, strong. So I think he done very well. I'm impressed with Varane, and I think he's only going to get a lot better. And I think that partnership with him and Maguire is just going to be probably one of the best, I think, in the Prem, to be honest. I think that partnership, you can tell already, even that small glimpse, because, I would say that's probably even maybe 30% of what we're going to see from him. I think that small glimpse alone, he's probably going to be one of the signings of the season, if not the signing of the season. I feel personally.
Gas.
Yeah, for Man United. Sorry, for Man United. Let me say that for Man United.
Let me let MK back in the room, but he was on timeout and now he's coming back in. So do you know what, Edwin? Let me get on to you. So obviously with Varane, I saw Varane and Maguire working in a way where I remember one time, Maguire went in for the ball. I think he got burnt. I don't know who it was by again. I can't remember. Was it Traore or one of these guys or Trinca or someone? Burnt him, left him, kind of like nuts him. And then Varane came shooting across our goal line to go and clamp the ball, sweep it out. And I was thinking, and there was another time he made a really good challenge against Adama Traore. Adama Traore sort of dribbled past him, was running to the byline. Sort of Varane recovered really quickly, clamped the ball, knocked it out for a corner. I saw a guy where he was utilising that speed. Do you know what I mean? Utilising the speed to close down Adama Traore is really fast, using the speed to get across the goal line to clear that ball when Maguire got burnt. And I didn't really see that with the partnership between Lindelof and Maguire because they were both just too slow. There's no way that they're going to be recovering against guys like Adama Traore when they're getting burnt. Do you know what I mean? And I was looking at that thinking, look, this is very much like how Vidic and Ferdinand operated, where one would go in for the tackle and then the other would sweep behind and make sure that they cleared up any mistakes. And when one person did get burnt, it wasn't too like sort of out there in your face. It wasn't evident. It wasn't in the highlight reels too much, because it didn't lead to a goal, quite frankly, because someone was there to sort of mop up the mistakes. What was your views, Edwin, on Varane's performance today? What would you score it out of 10?
I'll probably give him a solid like 6, 7. It's hard, isn't it? I feel like one of the hardest positions to come in, especially of not playing in the league, is maybe a striker or even a defender. You know what I mean? And Wolves is a difficult game because you got someone like Traore who just runs riot. You know what I mean? And they're good. They're not the best squad, but they're a good squad. So to play in defense on your first game, he done all right. You know what I mean? He didn't look out of place. Obviously, he'll get better. He looks fit. He looks strong. He looks good on the ball. But you know me already. I don't like Maguire. So that's my problem is what happens when we're playing. This is the thing when we're playing teams that are like really good and Maguire gets beaten, and there's a player that could beat Varane as well. Then what's going to happen? Because you can't always just say, oh yeah, we'll allow Maguire to get beaten because Varane will clear it up. It's not always going to be the case. Where what about if we're getting counter-attacked and there's someone else for them to pass around Varane? You know what I mean? Like, so it's either Maguire levels up, or this is the problem with not getting a DM where someone just sits, because that would also protect them too as well. Because now there's going to be a lot of emphasis on what it shouldn't be what Varane can do for Maguire. It should be that they grow a good partnership. You know what I mean? And Maguire needs to step up now. Like, there's no excuse. Like, all him doing all this extra, like, getting burnt. Like, you can be a slow defender. It's not. My problem with him is that he doesn't have a footballing brain. Because at least with John Terry wasn't fast, but his positioning was mad. You couldn't just like burn it. But with Maguire, he just allows that to happen. You know what I mean? But I think it was a solid performance. Hopefully, he'll get better. Obviously, we expected more because of who he is, but we've got to also remember, it's the Premiership. It's not an easy league to just come into like that. Premiership,
first game, do you know what I mean? And that, quite frankly, like, he's up against Traore, man. He's one of the best dribblers in the world. What was your thoughts, NK, man, on Varane and Sancho's debut, actually?
Sancho had a very quiet debut and everything. To be honest with you, he always kind of like starts slow, because even last year, Dortmund, at the beginning of the season, he started slow. And then later on, he just kind of like hit form. I'd give him until probably around maybe January, December. I'm not sure how going in and out of the team is going to help him out in terms of like building, kind of like getting used to it. But Ronaldo coming is going to make like kind of like him go under the spotlight, and it will help him ease into it. Varane, you know what? Out of 10, I'm going to give him a 9. And I'm only taking 1. Because of the header that nearly went as a goal.
What number did he give him?
9.
I gave him a 9. Bro, he just brought. If you take the midfield out of the equation, where we were so open that they were actually having a go at us, his interception was very good. He was reading the game very good. And as you said, that chance that it went there, and then he kind of like went to the line to clear it. I saw that. He done it brilliantly. And even in the second minute, when Fred lost that ball and it was 2 against 2, he kind of like backed off a bit. He didn't commit. He didn't do anything. And it made Amatori kind of like pass it onto the other side. If it was Lindelof, he would try beat him with his speed. But he knew that he had a bit of respect for him. Even though he hasn't seen what he can do, he had a bit of respect for him. So he didn't go there too. He was just calm. And I told you last week that when he come, he is going to be the guy who take control of getting the ball out of defense. The amount of time, anytime we wanted to get the ball out of the defense, it was always him. He was always the guy getting the ball out of the defense. So Maguire's responsibility became small. And I feel like it benefits Maguire when he doesn't have a lot of the responsibility to do. So this is why I see that going forward, the partnership is going to do. We just need to just get that midfield sorted so that they don't have to kind of like get faced with too much chance. But as a defensive collective, I always say, your defense, you always need a defense that will keep you in the game. And yesterday, our defense kept us in the game. And when they keep you in the game, the strikers are going to feel like, look, if we score 1, we win it. And I feel like going forward, that's going to be the mentality. Because yesterday, the back five. Look, sure they didn't have a good game, but they got a job done. Aaron Wan-Bissaka to same thing, and De Gea too was back to his best. He just needed a world-class centre back to start bringing out his best.
So the reason why I'm not too harsh on so everyone's talking about the performance, and we're going to get to the midfield right now in this little bit of time that we got left. So I know that last season it was bad starting off our season. We was like losing, lost against Villa, lost against Tottenham, and all of these teams. It was bad. Palace, I think. And this season, although we didn't have a really good pre-season because it was choppy, like we still managed in our first 3 games to get 7 points. And I know we always think we're going to get the 100% record, but really and truly, Varane and Sancho weren't really incorporated into the team. We got 7 points, and it's a better start than last season. You know what? Some of our rivals, like Man City's, has dropped points. Like I was going to say Arsenal, but let's just leave that to another side because they're really mid-table matters. But let's get into the midfield now, because we saw a team and everyone was just like, you know what? Nothing has changed. We had Fred and Pogba in the heart of the midfield. What do you think needs to happen for our midfield in order to get the best out of all of our players? Like, Crep, do you see Fred or Scott McTominay working alongside Pogba? Like, or who do you feel like we need? Do you feel like one DM could add the balance that we need? Or do you feel like we need, what do you think?
We definitely need a new DM.
And who?
Definitely. NDD, Neves, listen, anyone. Fred is terrible. I'm so sorry. Fred is terrible. For all the running around, he's got heart, he chases down the ball. That's all well and good, yeah. But if you can't play football, you can't pass, if you don't have a touch, if you don't have vision, yeah, it's all for nothing. Seriously, at this level, at Man United, we need footballers on the pitch. Guys that can play football.
Neves look good, He looked really
Neves
good.
Look good.
He can pass, man. He can pass.
Was it Camavinga? Any player? I think a lot of players can improve on Fred. All of them can run around. Even Donny is better than Fred. I don't understand what's going on with Donny van der Beek, to be fair. I feel he needs to leave the club for his own career, man, because Ollie's taking a piss.
Yeah.
Like, seriously. For him to start Matic over Donny van der Beek last game told you everything. Seriously.
Yeah.
Told you everything.
Speak louder, innit?
Yeah, but for me, Fred, I don't know, man. That guy he's like, even the players don't trust him. You can tell. Like, when they have the ball, the problem with Fred is when we're in possession, we are a man down because no one wants to pass to Fred. And when you do pass to Fred, he loses possession straight away. Can't control his touch. You can tell he's nervous on the ball. I've seen there's so many, and the problem with Fred, he gets into good spaces. But he doesn't know what to do. He gets a headache the further he gets up the pitch, and then he just wants to pass the ball back because he's so scared of losing the ball and them countering on the break. So personally, I feel Fred, there's not a place for him in the team. I don't know what midfield combination is going to work with him. We've tried him with McTominay, we've tried him with Matic, we've tried him with Pogba, and he's just not good enough. He's not a good footballer. He's needs to be he's a bottom tier footballer. He needs to be at a mid to low level table club, but don't have possession of the ball 90% of the time, and they need players that can win the ball back.
Leeds like Dan James, yeah, you can go there.
And the problem. What I noticed yesterday is that if you notice how we played, right, we basically played with four strikers. If you notice how they lined up here, they all were just off the defenders. So it's almost like we had Dan James, Bruno Fernandes and Greenwood, all four, and Sancho, sorry, all four of them were all playing as technically as strikers, right? Mm-hmm. So what would happen is that they'll give the ball to Pogba, and Pogba will try a long ball over the top. And that was a tactics all game. Long ball over the top, long ball, because Fred is useless. He's not going to be able to do anything in that position. So they're all relying on Pogba. And what was happening is that they were just closing Pogba down straight away because they know Fred is not a threat. Let Fred have the space because you've got more time to attack Fred because you know he's just going to panic and pass it back. So the tactics doesn't work because now you're just relying on Pogba to make something happen in the midfield. And, I love Bruno, but Bruno needs to sometimes come a little bit deeper to collect the ball because he plays as almost as the second striker or a second striker most of the time. If you notice, it was only later on in the game when he started to come and collect the ball when we tried to break them down. But he's almost looking for that ball over the top. But you can't rely on one person and the whole pitch to start creating. You need other players to come back, get the ball from deep, and sort of make something happen. And with Fred on the team, we're just a man less. Doing that.
And it's good. You gave a good breakdown because another thing about Pogba and Bruno, they always try the killer balls. I mean, Pogba's ones are more accurate, Bruno's less accurate, but they try the killer balls. And if it doesn't work, the pressure comes back on us again. The opposition has got the ball and it builds on the pressure. We haven't really got that guy that just makes a really good, neat pass. Just keep that consistently, just makes the neat, normal, simple, clean passes. And I was watching Ruben Neves and he was doing that quite a lot.
We slightly have that, in Donny, but we don't just taking a piss. When you watch Donny, even though he's not hit the heights of where he was before, when he does play, he does stuff that we don't have. He picks up the ball, simple passes. He doesn't try and do this long ball, through ball. Sometimes you just need someone to connect the dots, and he does that.
So, Crep. You was gonna say something. I'll get back to your question again because I think you made a.
No, it's a simple question. I just want to ask everyone: what are Fred's qualities? Forget what he's lacking. Just tell me what his qualities are, please.
You know what? Fred qualities, is literally closing down. But even that, he's not good in that. Because yesterday, you know what? You were very spot on. Because yesterday when we were playing, we were playing for Manda. I said it last week. Like when you go play away from home, the last thing you want to do is give something for the home crowd to kind of like start them. And yesterday when the first thing he done, we were in a possession. It was a simple possession. We were inside. And then this guy just gave the ball away, and that's what started the first attack. That was the first mistake he done. And then it pump up Tory, what do you call it? The fast corner, everything. Second one, corner kick. Easy ball. All you have to do is just kick the ball, and then it just, to be honest, you know what? With McTominay, Pogba, you can say if we get good DM, you can see what they bring. But with Fred, I do not know. Because going forward, he can't do box ball because he hardly score, can't shoot. Free kick, when he was at Sparta Donetsk, he used to take free kick. Now he doesn't even do that. I do not know what the guy qualities are apart from closing people down. And even that, he's not even doing that good. On the counter, he's very good on the counter sometimes because when he get the ball, he just can release the ball very quickly. He doesn't take too long the ball. But that's if he actually managed to control it well and doesn't lose the ball. But I don't know. Even if we get DM, I don't see him working with any DM, man. Any DM. We have to just take our losses and sell it.
I think that he can his fitness, his athleticism is his key quality, clearly. Like he can get across the pitch, he's got fitness for days. But something tells me that, why are you running so much? Are you running so much because your position is not that great in the first instance? You know what I mean? There's guys that hold down the DM role and they're not running every blade of the grass. They don't need to because they're in positions where they're reading the game well, where they can cut out and intercept. Do you know what I mean? So for me, it's just like, I felt like he had a lot of work to do, to be fair. I felt like he was trying to clamp left hand of the pitch, trying to come across and clamp right side of the pitch, where he has Scott McTominay that usually helps him in that aspect. He didn't get that. And Pogba got that 1-2 times and made certain challenges in that, but he's not that guy that's going to consistently support you and hold your hand because Pogba wants to go forward. So for me, he's not a guy clearly that can do it by himself. And Man United is looking for a guy that can do it by themselves. And
he can't even do it with someone next to him. He cannot do it with someone next to him, bro. So
that's harsh. It's harsh.
Well, that's not harsh. It's the truth, bro. What did he do last season? I mean, yes, we got a clean sheet by playing deep.
Going forward, right? Minimal. But we can't say that Solskjaer put these guys there to protect the back four. And those guys collectively did do that.
All right, so everyone's saying that winning back the ball, he's tenacious, running around. That's what I'm getting right. It'll be interesting to know this season or even last season what his status is on, interceptions, ball recovery. I guarantee he's not top 5 midfielder. So for me, he's even average. He's even average at doing that. Let's be real. Now, for me, you're telling me Van der Beek can't do that. You tell me Van der Beek can't run around and make tackles.
He can't.
If Oli wants to persist here with the double pivot, right? All he's got to do is coach the team to press as a team, right? All he's got to do is coach the team to press as a team.
Yeah. Like
Van der Beek came from the Ajax Academy. I mean, we know the Ajax Academy is a top class academy. Do you get what I'm saying? He's a top class midfielder that was linked to Real Madrid, Barcelona, big clubs. That's the bare minimum of any midfielder is to tackle and recover the ball. Pogba tries. He's not the best at doing it. I'll admit that. He's quite a terrible tackler. But he's got other qualities. But I feel Van der Beek will be a better tackler than Pogba. And also, he can do what Fred can do. He may not be as quick. He probably has got good stamina. But on the ball, we add something. So I don't understand Ollie's decision with keep playing... Is this just to keep playing Fred? I completely don't understand it. For me, Ollie is scared to take risks. He's scared to take changes, and it comes across in his interview. Even when he was talking about his justification for starting Matic, he was like, "Well, Matic had a great preseason, and it was very close. But Matic had a great preseason, and we felt he just nonsense. He's been terrible for a long time, Matic. Why don't you take the risk and play Van der Beek this season? You know that with the midfield that we played last season, we barely got second. Got second. Take some risks."
Do you know what? You make a good point, because Manchester United, I feel that there's very minimal times that we press as a team. And when we do press as a team, we look really good. Like when we played Leeds, I think for the first time, when Scott McTominay, in the first few minutes bagged a goal, and we won that game, 6-2 or whatever the scoreline was, something silly. I was just like, the whole team was pressing, and we had to, because Leeds played with so much energy. Like their tempo was so high that Man United just had to match it, or we would have been overrun. I feel like now we know how they play, and now we've seen it. It's like we kind of with every other team, we're just relax and chill. And it's not the way to play. You watch Liverpool, even your Spains, they never had big physical guys, but when they're closing down the ball and trying to get the ball off you, it feels like you're surrounded by many players, guys that are all built like Traore type guys trying to take the ball off you. Really and truly, they're all small guys that just get the ball off you. And I just feel it's a coaching thing. And people, I was saying it in our group, NK, I was just like, I don't even know, right, if he had any choice in the world, Declan Rice, Wilfred Ndidi, Bissouma, you name it, stick them in that squad. I do not feel like it will solve our problems. I still feel that we'll be saying the same old stuff. Yes, ultimately we'll improve that much better, we'll prove, but I just don't see it, because Bruno and Pogba are not defensive. You're going to have one man. The balance for me just won't be there when it comes to the big games. Trying to go up against your Chelseas, trying to go up against your Liverpools, trying to go up against your Cities, Champions League. I just can't see it.
Sorry, let me just jump in. Sorry. I completely disagree with that. And I'll tell you why.
Yeah, me too.
Look at all the big clubs. If you look at Real Madrid, who is their DM? They got one DM, Casemiro. If you look at Barcelona over the years, the best Barcelona team, they had one DM, Busquets. You look at Chelsea, they got one DM, Kante. Man City, Fernandinho, or they played Rodri in that position. And Rodri is not even the best winner of the ball tackler. He's a neat, tidy passer.
But they press though.
They press. But my point is,
PSG always get battered, right? In Champions League level, the way it really matters. For them, their league's nothing.
Okay, fine. But we talk. I'm named about 4 teams that, apart from Man City, that's won the Champions League. But Man City have been head and shoulders above everyone in the league. All they do is play with one DM, because they have all the rest of the players on the team are ballers. They're comfortable on the ball. They're good in possession.
But I say that
in tight spaces.
Under Oli, that's my what I forgot to mention is, under Oli, would we be still saying this, problem solved? This is my thing, because I think it's just more than getting a DM and playing Bruno and Pogba in front of him. I feel like it really is a team effort. Like the tactics in terms of closing down, like you mentioned earlier about the team pressing. Man United has never managed to do that on a consistent basis. And I just really don't, I genuinely feel that we get a DM, we'll be saying the same things. Not all the time, but in there'll be times where we're just like...
No, but I get what you're saying. You're talking more... I think you're not talking more... You're talking more as the manager. You're talking even if we get a DM, it doesn't even matter, because But this is the point we were making before,
individual performances. It's like,
so
if that DM is on form, we're gonna have a really good game. If that DM's not on form, shit. You know what I mean? Where you see it.
But it's down to Solskjaer. I'm telling you, like, okay, Man United could win the league this season, yeah, and it will play in his hands because everyone will be like, he's good, but just so far, he's not ready. He's not ready. Just his decision making, it just doesn't make sense. You can't play Matic and Fred and see that there's a problem, and then you go back to Pogba and Fred. Like, he doesn't have a football. You know what I mean? Like, there's something not ticking there. Like,
you just don't trust me, bro.
No, yeah. It's not, but
you know what?
I don't even know.
It's true, but you know what, Vema, I don't know. I disagree because I feel like one DM can change the whole team. And when I say change I'm not talking about change as like we're gonna start playing attractive football or anything like that. It changed the team because one of the things that we lack is even when we have a lot of the ball, when we have a lot of the ball and we try to like push up, one little mistake and then boom, the counter just there. You just need. I saw Ndidi against what do you call it, West Ham, and this guy were 10 man down. Like what do you call it, 1 man down, and the amount of interception that he was doing, tracking back, winning the ball, and that's all you need. You need those guys that will just get the ball and then race side. As I said to you, there's 2 types of DM. You either go get one of those guys like the Kante or Ndidi that got the energy, or you get like your what do you call it, the red or your what's that guy at Wolves, for example.
Neves.
Oh, Neves.
Yeah, Neves. Those guys are just very good on the ball where they control the game because that's what you need. You just want your midfielders are supposed to control the game, and when you have a midfielder they can't control the game, that is just wrong. Yesterday, second half, Pogba saw that they cannot give the ball to Fred, so he dropped deep to collect the ball so that he can try and control the ball. But when he does it too, and Crep was spot on too. Bruno, right now, I think he's just too obsessed with kind of like scoring goals that he want to do that kind of like run for someone to get, and then they were just doing the long balls and it just wasn't working. And this is what I try to say. I feel like we need a what do you call it? A deep playmaker that can play that defensive mid, and they can just control the ball, and they just allow players like Pogba to just get the freedom to do box to box. But that would change. Our team always change based on who is in the team. Look at when he took Greenwood on, brought Martial on. Straight away, the team changes. Our team changes based on individual because coaching wise, we don't get that. This is what I'm telling you though. I know a player can make a big difference. Bruno made a big difference, but I still feel like our expectations are gonna go to another level now. Once we've got this missing piece to the jigsaw puzzle, and we're gonna be looking at it from a different lens now. And I just feel that it's gonna be like we're gonna be calling out soon. Once we get that jigsaw puzzle, we're gonna be we need a new manager. It won't be bad like guys losing. Like when your midfielder losing possession in the middle, bro, you got a big problem. Any other guy that's decent ain't gonna be doing that.
I'll tell you this. Let me throw something out there. And this might be controversial, but I do feel that Manchester United will have a better balance if we didn't have the likes of Bruno Fernandes, for example, even though he's quality, because I don't really see too many teams playing with the AMC. Say if we had a flat 3, right? And you had, I don't know, a Ruben Neves, a Basuma, for example, and maybe Neves, Basuma, and maybe like a Wilfred Ndidi, right? Or that's 2 DMs, that's too defensive.
No,
or even like Pogba. I feel like it'll be a lot more balanced. I'm not saying I don't want Bruno Fernandes. I'm not saying we shouldn't sell him. I'm just saying like if you look at Chelsea, they've got Kante, right? Defensive. He can also bomb forward, but he's the best DM in the world. You've got Jorginho. He's also defensive, but he can pass like anything, like that. And then who else do they play in the middle as well? They've got like guys like Kovacic who can do the same sort of similar type job as Jorginho.
All three never play together though. They always play with Mason Mount either as a number 10.
Okay, look at Liverpool. Liverpool then. Fabinho, Henderson.
Yeah, but then Liverpool got 2 of the best wing backs. So they don't really need their midfield to just do that, to get the goals. United.
This is not about getting goals. This is not about getting goals. This is just about midfield balance.
No, but you know what? They could.
We don't have a coach, but we don't have a coach, man.
No, do you know what it is? Yeah, if we had a good manager, we could afford to get a good DM and play Pogba and Fernandes in the middle and play a 3. Yeah, but do you know what the problem is with Solskjaer? Right? If you're a good player already, you play well. Bruno will score no matter who's coaching him. Ronaldo's gonna play well. Whoever's. If you're a good player, but with Solskjaer, he can't elevate players. You know what I mean? Because there's no way Pogba played that bad and got no assist and played so well in the Euros and started so well now. I don't think Solskjaer's the type of player that can get the best out of these players, because realistically, if he was a proper good manager, he'll be able to play Van der Beek deeper. And the problem is Van der Beek, in his head, I think he's got it that Van der Beek played in where Bruno played for his club, and Bruno's playing there, so we can't play Van der Beek. But if he was a good coach, like Enke was saying, you'll coach him to play deeper because he's got all the qualities to play there. Because he can grab the ball, pass it here and there, especially when we don't have an alternative. You know what I mean? Like, he needs to be doing more.
Pep got Ferran Torres banging in 2 goals, on the weekend. Pep got Ferran Torres playing striker.
I think with Van der Beek, Oli just he's a shook guy. He's just a scary guy, bro, man.
He is.
Like, even what do you call it? For him to even get Varane and not play him against Southampton, because I don't know why. He just doesn't know how to take risks. And sometimes, and that's what I told you, that is always going to be a downfall. When you don't take risks, you don't win games, bro. You just don't win games. I saw you yesterday when we drew against Southampton, bro, it is 1-1. Why is our centre backs not going up there to go win the game? Why are we still playing so slow? Why are you not taking a defender on just to bring a striker on? He's happy to settle for draws. And that's the same reason why Fred had a bad game against Southampton, and he's still playing. He reward this kind of a thing because he just doesn't trust these other guys. He always feel like Fred is going to protect the defense, which he doesn't. Give Van der Beek a chance, bruv. If I was him, I would leave, before the window closed. I would leave because there's no point being there. And right now, too, we're in a position where McTominay is injured. I mean, Fred is awful, but if he get injured too, we are done out here.
So let me ask you a question. Crep, this goes to you. Is Oli the right guy for Manchester United? Does he need his time now? He's getting the right players. So is he the right guy? Where do you see him finishing this season? If he gets a DM, do you think and do you want him to stay another season in order to him to get the DM or whatever, get the players that he needs? Finish off the
team needs a DM, like point blank and period. Like, regardless who's the manager, like as we all agree, Matic is old, Fred is not good enough. Tommy is limited. We definitely need a DM. In regards to Oli, I think he deserves another season. Like, if we're going to be honest, he deserves another season because it's hard to justify sacking him at this point. I feel he's got nowhere to hide this season. He's got to have a real title challenge. I'm not talking 10 points. He's got to be close and he's got to win a trophy in order for him to stay in the job. What I do feel about Oli, from what I've observed, is, like everyone said, he doesn't take risks, and his inexperience, is starting to show at this level. So I feel he can only take the team. My personal view is he can only take the team so far, and you can see even by I feel Oli's been a little bit lucky, and also if our squad is a good squad, it is a top 4 squad in the league, right? So more often than not, you've got players like Bruno Fernandes, Pogba, Greenwood, Rashford that can. All it takes is a moment. All it takes is a moment for them to win the game, and I feel we've had a lot of those, particularly last season. We had moments where we just, Greenwood, Greenwood scored the winner, or Bruno, or a pen. We got lucky on a lot of occasions. But with Oli, he doesn't make tactical changes. He doesn't work on the shape. You can see that Bruno, and I love Bruno Fernandes, so I don't want to criticize him, but tell him to come a little bit deeper, or change it to a 3 in the middle. If we're struggling against a low block team, why are we still persisting with 2 DMs?
Right.
Why are we still persisting with McTominay and Fred in the midfield? Take one of them off, put in another midfielder in. Take, Bruno Fernandes, come a little bit deeper. The midfield come wider, and then create spaces and bring another attacking midfielder on. But he doesn't do that. He sticks with the same shape. And he just brings on another person. Oh, this person hasn't created the magic, so I'll put this guy on and maybe he'll create the magic. He doesn't, you can tell he waits till about 60, 70th minute before he makes a change. He doesn't really get on the touchline and say, you know what, do this, do it. He just feels like, these players are good, so I'll pick the team and they'll do what they'll go out and do the job.
Cavani got brought on earlier though. Cavani got brought on in the 50-something minute, which was.
But he had no choice to bring Cavani on. He had no choice to bring Cavani on. Bruno should have gone on early, bro.
That's a no-brainer. That is an absolute no-brainer. Daniel James shouldn't even been playing in the first place.
Right.
I'm so happy he's been sold because he is an average at best baller.
That's Edwin's guy, man.
Edwin, I'm sorry. He's so poor. He's so poor.
You know what it is, yeah?
At this level, he's not. He's
definitely not my guy. I've been screaming for him. You know what I've been saying for time, right? Is that Ollie, yeah, he just like, I don't know what he sees in these players. I swear down. Fred, James. I swear James. They must be doing something. It's like they've got his family in a basement locked up. Like, the way like James is playing, yeah, like, I'm happy he's gone and Diallo's staying. You know what I mean? Like, there's no point spending 40 million on someone and sending them on loan. It just doesn't make sense.
That's what baffles me too. Why did James start if they knew they were gonna sell him? Why start him if they were gonna sell him?
It doesn't make sense. That, you know? It doesn't make sense.
I don't think they knew they were gonna sell him.
No,
listen, he's Sonic the Hedgehog, road runner. All he does is run. He's a headless chicken. When he gets into the box, he's dizzy. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's shooting.
That's what I said in the first game. Like, do you know how many chances and positions he got into in that first game, and he just didn't know what to do, just shooting. And I'm like, if that's the case, just play Sancho. Like, why?
He didn't know what to do.
He did not know what to do.
The problem I have with these players, yeah, and nothing against them, but they're taking up valuable space for young talent that are coming through. So, we've got Matic. Why did Matic get another deal? We know we're not going to play Mata, but we've got a few talented youngsters in Diallo and what's that? Anthony
Palestri,
Elanga.
He looks good.
What's that guy with the afro?
Chong or something. Chong.
No,
not Chong.
What do you call it?
No. The French one, beginning with the M.
Yeah.
Hannibal
Mabry. These guys can be getting minutes on the pitch. Do you get what I'm saying? Even Gardner, he went to Nottingham Forest and he had a very good season.
He probably might be better than Fred. He might be better than Fred.
These guys can be getting minutes on the pitch. These guys can be getting, and I feel we have a top quality coach, right? They will see these things. Why? Sometimes we're too sentimental. And that's why I like Pep and these other, they're ruthless.
Savage.
They're ruthless. If you're not good enough, you're not in the team, go and play football somewhere else. Why did we give Mata
you're right. You're right. I bet you if it was Solskjaer, he would have kept Aguero just for the sake of it. Saying,
he would have. He would have
given him another year contract.
Why is Mata on the pitch?
He would have given him another year. He would have given him another year saying, you're a legend, stay.
It's ridiculous.
You know what? Yesterday, Pogba had an interview and then they were asking him about Oli, what is Oli qualities, and then he said Oli best quality is that he know the players, like man managing, because he's not going to tell you like, he know how to organize and stuff, because deep down they know he cannot organize. My problem is, why are they not getting him coaches, bro? You know how defensive set pieces we were lacking. They got a new guy there. So far we've been okay so far. Why are they not going to get a new coach to just help out with our build-up play?
No, it's true, because even like when you watch this documentary about Ronaldo, they're saying there's this one coach, I forgot his name, begins with M, that like called Ronaldo back early. You know, that season before he started turning up.
Molestein.
That one, and literally just with man-to-man coach Ronaldo that summer before. And then Ronaldo's game changed. Like what NK saying, we need to get coaches that are just on players. Like if you know Solskjaer's your manager, but you want to keep him, they need to do better with the coaching team.
Right. Fergie always used to change his coaching all the time. Anytime Fergie changes it, we play differently. When he brought in this guy, his assistant, Carlos, this guy. When he came in, we started to play differently because, before when he came, that's when Champions League, we became so good at going to Champions League and just gain points. Only need to stop this friendship thing with, because we have to look at Carrick here and all them coaching there. What are they doing there? Because the coaching is terrible. And if we are lacking in tactics here, how many times have you seen a manager look to his assistant here or any of them guys to help them change tactics, in-game tactics? None of these guys are helping him do what he's doing. So either they change that or all of them are going to lose their jobs, bro. Because this ain't good enough.
This is the problem I was saying with Man United. Like, if we can't counter-attack a team and we play a team that sits, we are so ineffective. And like what NK is saying, we've got no alternative. Like if a team just sits here and we can't like hit them on the break, or like we just struggle because we've only got one way of playing like, you know, the first game we played this season, we looked so good because we could just attack leads and they were open. When a team just sits here, we don't look as good. And that's
we don't know how to deal. We don't know how to deal with the low block. And again, it comes down to shape. It comes down to, you know, in-game management and tactics. Yeah,
we ain't got the triangles. We don't do the triangles enough. You know what I mean? And Sancho's that type of guy.
The problem, we can't do the triangles because we haven't got the personnel.
You
need midfields to do triangles. You can't do a triangle with a guy that can't pass in midfield.
Yeah.
Right.
You're gonna create a hexagon, not triangle. You're creating a rectangle, mate. Honestly,
right? Because when Fred is losing the ball in the dangerous position, and the thing is, yesterday a lot of our players were losing the balls. A lot of them, Greenwood was losing it, Bruno was losing it. But these guys are in position where when they lose it, we don't feel the effect as much as when that holding midfielder. You know what? Don't be surprised if United end up going for Harry Winks at Tottenham. You know. Don't be surprised if we go for him on loan, bro.
Hell no.
Bro, I'm just saying, but because when I'm hearing that Saul is not coming, Kamavinga is not coming.
Fam, we're not getting anyone. We're not getting anyone.
If we don't get anyone, I will be shocked if we don't get anyone in.
I'm not gonna lie, that was very like Man United dropped the ball. If you're offered Saul on loan, take him on loan. You know what I mean?
I think it'll be a massive improvement, upgrade to what we already have. But for me,
100%.
a part of me is feeling that I want us to go for the right man. Like, I'm tired of all of this.
Even Wolves,
a lot of our managers will tell you they never got their first choice, and I'm tired of it because what happens in the end of the day is when we don't go for our first choices, these guys are the same guys that we're needing to ship out now, but can't ship them out now because they're on big wages. I know that Sal's a loan, but I won't be so surprised if there's an obligation to buy sort of thing in there, because why the hell ain't he moved already? Do you know what I mean? I won't be surprised if they're saying, you know what, the obligation is to buy there, you've got to buy them for like 40 M's or whatever it is like that. We don't know the full details. And for me, if you're saying, do we have to wait another season to get the right man? If you told me, go throughout the season and not get the right man, my first choice, but I can get that person next season and go all out for them, or go and get someone that could potentially be dead weight.
See, now that's the problem, you know, because this season, say what you want to say, but if we get DM, this will be our best chance to actually challenge for the league. With the kind of guys that we got, get DM, with City not getting a striker, Chelsea, I don't think Chelsea's squad is still missing a centre back. Bro, if we get a DM, it's our best chance. Next season, you might get a DM, but this man will strengthen buff. And then
you want sustainability. I agree with you totally in that. But also, it's a balance, isn't it? Because that shape up is looking sharp, ain't it? Don't you want sustainability? Don't you want someone, Don't you want someone that can help us win titles, not only this season, but next season? And season after, regardless.
We need something this summer, bro. We got 30 million from Daniel James. What is that money doing, bro? What is that money doing, bro? Bro,
no, we need the right guy, man. We don't need another guy.
Now is okay, bro. Wolves yesterday, bro.
Okay, not Harry Winks.
He can be for 30 million, bro.
Nah, but do you know what? Do you know what?
Harry Winks.
No, Winks, bro. I'm just saying that Oli will go get cover, bro. How many times have we got some dead guy on transfer deadline?
Why would we get?
We always get dead guys on transfer deadline day to come up for positions, bro. I'm just watch tomorrow, but tomorrow we're gonna be linked to some dead defensive midfielders, bro. Just watch.
But you know what? There's options out there. Like, if we feel like we can't get certain players, right? There's that, I don't know if you know, there's that guy from Barcelona. He only went for he's young though.
Mariba.
He went for 50. Yeah, he only went for 15.
Oh, he left, bro. He left.
No, but that's what I'm saying. He's 15 minutes.
But he's not a DM though. He's not that.
He's not a DM,
bro. He's not a DM,
but he's a midfielder that could just sit there. You know what I mean? Like, you've got that guy Sanchez.
I don't think it'll be the right move, man.
I'm not saying it'll be the right move.
We need a DM. And you know what? Next summer, I keep on saying this. Next summer, we might start the season. Pogba might leave, Matic might leave, and then Donny might leave. So we might start next season with that three midfielders, buff. And then Fred and McTominay is still going to be here, bro, drinking cocktails, buff.
Look. Let's get back. Let's wrap this up. So, look. Crep, 2 questions. Worst player against Wolves, man of the match against Wolves.
Come on, man. It's not even a question. The worst player was clearly Fred, man. He got absolutely... Someone put him in his arse, man. I think it was Traore in the box. He had a howler. Shocking. Even the first 15 minutes, I needed to turn off my TV. It was that bad. It was like... I knew what the way we started that game with Fred. I knew what type of game he was going to be in for. I knew it was going to be a long game. I knew Fred was probably thinking, "What the fuck? What have I come to? Like I come with playing with Modric, Casemiro, Cross, all these ballers in the midfield to Fred. Nah, man. Anyway, yeah, Fred was the worst guy on the pitch. To be fair, no one really had a fantastic game. I'm going to give it to I'm going to probably give it to Greenwood, obviously just for the goal, to be fair. I could also give it to Varane because he done an okay job. Maybe De Gea, he kept us in the game. He kept us in the game. I would say either De Gea or Greenwood.
Edwin?
I would say worst player, Fred. I just don't understand it. When you're coaching, you see your player just running right, like kicking the ball. How can you kick the ball and make a through ball to the opposing team? Like, do you see that time when he kicked the ball and he dropped? Yeah. Like he just looked terrible. And this is another thing, like with Solskjaer, like he's too friendly. Now, like back in the day, like someone like Ferguson will just take you off. Like if you're having a bad game, take them off. Not all this. Let's get into halftime and see how they do and have a talk with them. Now get them off. Let them know that they're not indispensable. Fred's probably thinking that there's no one else here, so I can do whatever I want. Kind of vibe. You know what I mean? So
best player,
I think De Gea. Like he kept us in the game. He made some vital saves, and then straight away there's this talk. They're like, oh yeah, when Henderson, like forget Henderson. Like I don't even like that guy either. But do you get what I'm saying? Like because what Man United, like a lot of people, we have to realize Man United need to go to that point where they're just ruthless. Like if you're up and coming, like you can't just be coming in. Like Henderson can't be coming in making demands of, I have to play this season. I want 100K. No, what have you done? You know what I mean? Man United got to the point where anyone could just say anything to the team and get away with it. Like he needs to sit on bench. Like I think to me, De Gea he kept us in the game. Without his saves, Greenwood's winner wouldn't have meant nothing. So yeah, I give it to him.
NK?
Well, worst player was Fred, bro, man. Fred reminded me of me playing football, bro. No one wants to pass to me, bro, because I'm dead, bro. Well, when you in a team and bro, it felt like 10 men yesterday, bro. It felt like 10 men, but you know what? It was like me, but when I played, no one want to give me the ball because they know I ain't gonna do nothing with it. That was Fred yesterday, bro. That was Fred, bro. Literally, bro, man. And you know how he even lasted 90 minutes, I don't know. Best player, I will give it to Varane, you know, because for it to be his first game and the intensity that came yesterday, he had a lot of job to do because the midfield wasn't good. He was good, like his pace was good. He didn't even look like a guy who was playing his first game. He felt like he was just born to kind of like play in that kind of like intensity. And they also said the only fault was that corner where the guy out jumping. But apart from that, he was solid, bro, man. So I'll give that to him. That's my best player.
Worst, I have to say Fred, for all the reasons that you mentioned. It was just poor. His touch was poor, his passing was poor, his positioning was poor, everything was... I felt sorry for him, to be fair, and that's just worse. And, you know, my best player's got to be DDG, man. His double save was just immaculate. It was crazy. It reminded me of those times when DDG was under Mourinho, scooping up the player of the year, like season in, season out. The reason why he's on the wages now, because of saves like that. So for me, it's not really a question between Henderson and DDG. DDG is the guy that should be in our goal, and he should be the guy that's leading us to future trophies, hopefully. So for that reason, it's DDG, man. He gets the man of the match for me. So look, you know what, guys? Thank you for joining. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, support the thing, share, and all of that jazz. Follow on Twitter at 99banter, Instagram at 99_banterroom, and TikTok at 99banterroom. Don't judge me. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, support the thing. We're out. Peace.